Hi everyone, welcome to the Lakeview video podcast series, and I'm pleased today to be joined with Michael Reeves with St. Mary's in Decatur, Illinois. It's good to have you here.
I'm glad you had me here.
Thanks so much for coming to Jacksonville. And you said this is your first time in Jacksonville?
Correct.
You've been to other parts of Florida, but this is the first time up in North Florida.
Yes.
Well, good. Well, we're sorry about all the heat, but hopefully you won't take it back with you, which will be good. So we're interested in learning more about St. Mary's, and before we get into St. Mary's and what the services are about, can you tell us a little bit about your background and how you got into the field of addiction treatment?
Yes, I have my master's in social work. I'm a licensed social worker. I will be testing for my LCSW next week. And then I am a certified alcohol drug counselor. And I have some licensure to deal with women, older adults, and adolescents.
Okay.
And
And
I
so
work
what
with all
prompted you to
population.
get into this particular area?
I'm pretty open about it. I'm in recovery myself.
Oh, okay.
And been through a lot. My family took it to a lot of people, tried to help me. And I'm not good with a hammer and nails, so I thought, what can I do? I went to school and I fell in love with it, so my passion is pretty strong.
Great ambassador.
Just don't want some people to go through the pain I had to go through.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. So tell us a little bit about St. Mary's. St. Mary's is it a med-surg hospital that has an addiction component in it?
Correct.
Okay.
We have St. Mary's Treatment Center, and we have outpatient therapy. We have intensive outpatient, we do individual therapy in groups,
Okay.
family groups. And then we also have a component where I go into the hospital rooms, medical floors, ICU, emergency room, and then we have psych floors, adolescent psych, intensive psych, gero psych. And I go in all those rooms when a doctor gives me an order when there's substance abuse involved.
How many beds do you have at St. Mary's for addiction?
For addiction, we don't. We just have outpatient.
Outpatient.
But we do detox deemed necessary.
Okay.
But there's always room to do that.
It's great to have a med-surg hospital have a commitment to behavioral health because some do not. So it's nice to hear that St. Mary's has that commitment, which is great. So you also do a lot of work, it sounds like, in the community in addressing issues around heroin and opioid addiction. How did it come to pass that you become sort of the subject matter expert in your community around that?
Different people whose family has been affected by it have came to us for treatment, and I've been able to facilitate them starting with inpatient, back to outpatient, back to 12-step meetings. So I had a good rapport with a lot of families who knew people, and kind of just built that. You know, we were doing some good work over at St. Mary's.
And they trust you, and they obviously, that makes a huge difference. And it's nice that St. Mary's is a resource for those families as well. Is there a big epidemic that's happening in your community around heroin and opiate addiction?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We've had, I think, 17 overdose deaths in the county, Macon County, Sabin County. And then we've had, we've used a Narcan shot
Yes.
61 times since the start of the year.
Okay. Are those in the hands of family members, or do this our first responders
Both.
typically? Oh, that's
Both,
great.
But our medical director signs the paper for the Narcan.
Okay.
So it starts with us, and then it goes to the fire. You know, fire station has it, police have it now, sheriffs have it, and ambulance.
That's fantastic. It's such a great intervention to prevent the overdoses. So before we wrap up, you're getting ready to open a new program called Rebound Healthcare.
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about that?
It'll be kind of the same structure, and it'll be in Springfield, Illinois, which is nearby Decatur, and then it would be able to also have like a hub where people need to go to start the process of finding the right treatment source.
Good. And when do you hope to launch that?
Middle fall of 2016.
That's great. Well, we're looking forward to hearing more about that program, and thank you so much for taking the time to visit with us. If folks wanted to get access to services at St. Mary's, how could they get in touch with you?
They could easily just call, at St. Mary's, they would call 217-464-2500. Just ask to speak to any of us. We could just take their call. And then they go online at www.stmaryshospital.org.
Wonderful. Well, thanks again for taking the time to visit us in Jacksonville all the way from Illinois. Probably would have been better if it were in the colder time period, but we're glad you made it.
Thank you.
For those of you that are interested in learning more about Lakeview Health, we invite you to visit us at lakeviewhealth.com. Or if you have someone that needs help right away, please visit us, or give us a call at 866-887-0142.